Trent and Jason here from the Thunder Underground podcast, and today we're going to talk about Gene Simmons and Nikki Sixx because they like to talk about each other, so we figured why not talk about them, I guess.
I mean, feuding divas. Let's go over it,
Right. As you can see behind us, they at one time were cool with each other, at least for the cameras.
Yeah.
Because I remember stories in the past few years where one of them says some shit either.
Yeah.
It seems like, about the other one.
Yeah.
So this isn't a new thing.
No, and this is how these always go. I remember Motley Crue talking shit about Metallica, and then Nikki Sixx was on Lars's radio show not that long ago.
Right.
I mean, and that shit, these bands are going to do that, and stuff gets manipulated in the press and stuff. And I guess we're going to manipulate it a little bit more, so glad you're here.
Why not? It could all be bullshit, too. It could just be Nikki Sixx is, in his own right, is as smart as Gene Simmons when it comes to marketing.
Drumming up attention for the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's right.
So I don't blame him. Whatever.
Yeah, the newest thing was he was pissed off because, or I don't know if he's pissed off, but he was claiming Kiss's Gene Simmons crane riser thing was a direct ripoff of Motley Crue, which, without even reading the story, I just started laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm like, Nikki Sixx is complaining about Kiss ripping off Motley Crue when he spent the early part of his career ripping off Kiss.
Exactly. Yeah, that was that's such an obvious point. I was going to say that's 2 points I'm going to make, but fuck, we all know that's
right.
One. Okay, it's a fucking crane. Bands have done it. We're jacking off spiders here. We're getting way too fucking picky here. Who gives a fuck? And then secondly, what you just mentioned, and what I thought, and I heard. I've seen some stuff and, heard some comments on radio shows is Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue, and so many other bands probably owe so much of their act and their career and, to Kiss, who influenced fucking everything. And they were, one of the first bands to have, cranes and elevators and or whatever the fuck, and smoke and lights and explosions and all that over the top shit in a big arena setting. So it's I don't know.
Yeah, that's the first key point is that without Gene Simmons and Kiss, who knows if Motley Crue would have even ever been heard of. Like how far they would have went with what they did because they weren't influenced by another band doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
So who knows?
Yeah, and anything, I really think any band that puts on any kind of fucking face paint or mask or anything owes it to Kiss. And Motley did that.
Alice Cooper.
Yes, you're exactly right. Motley did that, albeit a different kind of thing. Maybe they just might put a stripe or two or something, but they fucking did it. And Kiss and Alice Cooper did it first. And if they hadn't have done it first, none of these other bands would have done it. Right. I mean, I don't care if you're, Slipknot. It doesn't fucking matter. If you have a mask or makeup, it's because of Kiss and Alice Cooper. So, again, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Shut up and shut up.
Well, Nikki Sixx also in the 80s, I remember, I don't know if it was the Shout the Devil tour at some point, had Blood.
Yeah.
Which I believe one Gene Simmons did.
Again, here we go. That. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. I mean, blood, fire, explosions, chicks. It's all been done. Yeah. It's just like nothing anymore is original. No song, any song. Well, I've heard that before.
Right.
Because I don't know. Everybody rips off everybody.
Yeah. Even their backdrop. The Crue, when they had the light up CRUE, just like Kiss's light up backdrop.
There you go. I mean,
KISS.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, to Nikki's credit, that crane looked pretty identical.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, maybe that's what his complaint is, that it looks exactly the same, and it's not just... Because obviously he knows he's not the first person ever using crane.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's like, so many people have done that kind of thing.
Funny, our friend Mitch LaFon pointed out, who I don't remember how he worded it, but he showed a picture of both them and then showed a picture of Trans-Siberian Orchestra doing it before Motley Crue, and it looked pretty similar to those two.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then, but of course, Gene Simmons was doing something similar back in the 70s anyway.
Yeah.
It didn't look exactly the same because, today's technology is a little bit better than it was in 1977.
Yeah. And then let's think about it. Like, just off the top of my head, Brian Johnson swinging around on a big fucking wrecking ball. Garth Brooks has swung around on some shit over the crowd. Paul Stanley has swung around on a rope over the crowd. I mean, the fuck?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Right.
I'm just glad these bands are, doing something that's, giving a spectacle to the fans.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So, on a side note from that, what do you think about, Kiss is on now what is supposedly their final tour, and now everybody's complaining that Paul Stanley is likely using backing tracks, when on the most recent tour, people were complaining that Paul Stanley is starting to lose his voice. So, obviously, the people that are complaining either way probably aren't that big of fans in the first place.
Yeah.
So on your personal side, would you rather see a band like Motley Crue go out there with the world's worst live singer, or would you rather see someone augment themselves to sound a little better? Because Paul Stanley at his worst isn't anywhere near Vince Neil at his best.
Oh, no. No shit. That guy, that just opens up so much shit in my head. It's like, just open it right up. Because it's so funny. Like, here's the thing that I'm iffy about is Kiss is still, to my current knowledge, Kiss is like, they we're going out the best, we're still at the top of our game. Obviously you're using tracks. I don't know. And they're not really saying we're using any help or whatever.
Right.
Motley Crue had always been, they'd always been up front with it. Yeah, we use some stuff. Mick Mars went on that metal show and bitched about how it's more of a Britney Spears show nowadays, and he doesn't like it. But then also, if they're going to do that, then they should have just made their goddamn singer sound better.
Right.
Or at least, filled in all the words he goddamn misses.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. But when it comes down to it, and I'll use a friend of ours as an example. I don't know. People around here will watch this more than people just everywhere, but I don't care. We have a friend, Scott Squires, and his wife Jana. They're our friends in Down for Five and Rocket Science. Great bands, by the way. Check them out. And she posted about how Scott was going to go see Kiss last night for the last time. It's his most favorite band in the world. And don't anybody comment with the tracks and, all this stuff they're using and all this. And I got that in a way because, if that's your favorite, I have my opinions. Kiss isn't my favorite band. And I have opinions about, Tommy and Eric and all this shit, but who gives a fuck what I think? They're not my favorite band. But if they're your favorite band, fucking go, man. If that's your thing, go and have fun. You probably know what you're getting. So, it's Metallica's my favorite band, and if they couldn't do it anymore and they went and did one last tour with some tracks or whatever, I guarantee you I'd fucking be there.
Right.
So it's just, do what you got to do and, be a fan. And that's the thing. It's like I'd be a fan no matter what. They could literally release sounds of their farts. Metallica could. And they did. It was called Saint Anger. And I fucking bought it.
Right.
And I'd do it all over again. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're all, homers and biased for our favorite bands. And
exactly.
Kiss, I've always loved Kiss, and they're not anywhere near my favorite band, but I saw them as recently
Kiss,
as
but
2 years ago, and they were great. Maybe they're using tracks. I'm sure they're using tracks, but I don't really care because, you don't really go to see Kiss because the reason you would go to see fucking Steve Vai or Richie Kotzen or Chris Cornell sing or something. You go to see Kiss for the fucking spectacle and because you love the songs. And
the thing is there's probably so many more acts that are using shit that we don't even know about or haven't even caught on to or pay attention to or whatever. So, Yeah, exactly.
What was that? Who was that? Aaron Lewis, who we're not really a big fan of, but he made that comment about
That guy sucks. But
how there wasn't anything real on stage from Static X.
Yeah, he walked by backstage as Static X was playing. He goes, "There's not much real about that show," and whatever. So who knows?
Right.
But that's Aaron Lewis too. So fuck him.
Come on now, you bought the first 2 Stained albums.
I know, man. It was a dark time for me. I was very impressionable, early 20s. Let's just not go there.
Okay, yeah, let's forget that.
Okay, we all have those moments.
That's
Whatever.
Right. All right, well, we appreciate you listening to us ramble about something that's kind of pointless, but hey, that's what we're here for.
Hey, speaking of rambling, do you remember 3 Inches of Blood?
Well, of course why would I forget them?
I was just at work today thinking, man, that band was so fucking good.
Yeah.
I really wish they wouldn't have called it a day.
Yeah.
They're awesome. 3 Inches of Blood, go check them out. That's my random contribution to this fucking video.
If you like your stuff heavy, if you like Judas Priest, imagine them being like another level heavy.
Yeah.
Like take Painkiller, but crank it up another notch. And then you've got the Canadian metal band 3 Inches of Blood.
Fucking A, Randy.
Yeah, check them out. They're badass. But yeah, if this is your first time checking us out, we appreciate it. Down below in the description, you can find a link to our podcast via SoundCloud or iTunes. You can also find it many other places. Also, hit the subscribe button below this to subscribe to this channel to hear about more great stuff. We've had a bunch of videos already, and we've got a ton more coming. And as I said, we've got a podcast with 200 plus episodes. And speaking of Kiss and Motley Crue, we have not had anyone from Motley Crue, but we've had Gene Simmons on this podcast.
Yes.
And he said quite a few things that made some news and ruffled some feathers. And we also had Bruce Kulick, formerly of Kiss, who was, of course, a part of the greatest Kiss record, Revenge.
That's
said
right.
It right here. I know that you believe it's a second behind the debut album.
Yes, I think so.
To me, it's probably a tie. But anyway.
But Bruce did not say anything controversial because he was a very nice man.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
But he was great on the show.
Right. All right. Well, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.